All right, so let's start. Today we will take up dative case. Now, just to give a recap of what we learned previously, there are three cases. Actually, there are four cases, but we will be handling only three cases. That is nominative, then accusative, and then dative. So, nominative, as you probably remember, it's the direct subject, or you can say only the subject, right? So, for example, I said Frank writes a letter. So here Frank is the direct object, direct
Mhm.
subject who is writing the letter. So it's in nominative. Now accusative is a direct object. Just remember friends, these two deal with object and this deals only with subject. So accusative is direct object. Yeah. So here in this case, the letter is the direct object. Yeah, that is,
Mm.
I mean, you can easily find out like in a sentence if there are only two things. The rest is maybe like it's a verb or an article. So there are only two things. One is one person who is doing the job, and one is the object. So in this case, the object is most likely going to be the direct object, that is accusative. And in dative, it is the indirect object. So this normally answers um, to whom or for whom something is being done. So for example, Frank writes a letter to his mother, right? So the mother is the recipient of the action, and to whom or for whom is answered by this mother, and this is going to be the dative, right? So this was what we learned last time. Okay, going further, I also told you one table. Let me quickly check because that's a little complicated table. Where is it? Must be here. Yeah, this was also a important table. But I requested everybody to please take a screenshot and remember it all the times because this is going to be the basis of future grammar. So what I showed here was just write masculine, feminine, neutral and plural like this, and just write nominative, accusative and dative like this. Now in masculine, just write der, die, das, die, dem, die, das, die. I'll rather make a new table and show it to you once again. Okay, so what I said was make three columns like this, four columns, masculine, feminine, neutral and plural, and make here nominative, accusative and dative, right? Now just remember this by heart. Der, die, das, die, then, sorry. Make sure friends, it is den, not dem. Then, d, die, das, die, dem, der, dem, den. Dem, der, dem. Probably this is the right time to take a screenshot, friends. I request you please take it because this is right now very clean and tidy picture. So what does this actually mean? So this means that I'll take an example. Just give me a moment. Yeah. This means that, as we all know, Frau, let's say I take an example of Frau. The feminine, Frau is a feminine, that is a lady, and the gender associated is with D, that is feminine gender. Like here you see feminine nominative. Now when we say Die Frau, just a moment, I think somebody's there. So when we say Die Frau, this is whenever we learn any noun, any gender of a noun, it is always in nominative we learn. If we say Hund, which is by the way dog, and we say the gender of Hund is der, that means we are talking in nominative form only, right? Make sure we always take nominative as the original form. So when we say the lady Frau gender is always feminine D, so we are talking only about nominative. However, when you learn and you use the genders and you use the cases further, you will be surprised to find that there may be cases where the Frau is associated with their gender. So I'll give you one example here. What's this? Yeah, I'll give you one example. Give me a moment. Let's say I give an example. Der Hund gehört. Gehört, by the way, G-E-H-O-R-T, means owned by, to be owned by. Okay, der Frau. So let's take this, analyze this example. Der Hund gehört der Frau. So you see, der Hund is very obvious. That is, Hund, the gender of Hund is always der, that is masculine. So this is absolutely fine. Gehört der Frau. Now, if you see for the first time this sentence, you will be amazed or surprised to see why this der is there with Frau. Because der is a masculine gender. And why is it associated with Frau? So reason comes here. Sorry, what happened to this? Reason is this, that here, der Frau, as I said, this case, this is going to be in dative because somebody is being owned by. So here this Frau is in dative case, and thereby the gender associated will be der Frau. So if you write der Hund gehört die Frau, that will be wrong, right? Although technically it will be right because die Frau, the gender associated with Frau is D. However, because here Frau is in dative case, that's why it is going to be der Frau. So the gender changes accordingly. Just make sure. Now, I also told you one more table that I'll draw it right away, which is also most important, that you must take a screenshot. Just a minute. Yeah. So which is known as personal pronouns. So here nominative, accusative and dative. So you probably remember I told you ish, do, then rzs, s, z is just the same. Wir, ear, z, and then z, that is capital Z, right? So I'll just make this table again. So in case if I were to use it in accusative case, so ish will convert to mish. Do will convert to
Dish.
Yeah. Air will convert to in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
S will be the same. Z will also remain the same. Now wir will convert to uns. Let's say if I were to say in English, I'll give you an example. Let us meet today. So here we will be using uh, lassen wir uns. Okay, just a moment. Yeah, let us meet today. So because we are talking about we here, like we will be meeting today, right? So here we will be using uns. Actually, we a typical sentence when we say it in German comes out to be lassen wir uns. We use wir also and uns also. So heute treffen. Okay. So what I want to focus upon is uns will be used once we are using in accusative case. Yeah. So the wir will be used instead of wir we will be using uns. In that example we are using wir also, that is a different thing, but in general if you use wir in accusative case you will be using uns, and then ihr will convert to euch. Yeah, z will remain z. Here they also convert to capital, both of them. Well, do not get confused with this stuff. I mean, this is something like in advanced German you will be learning all that stuff. Now, the focus of today's session was in dative. So, if I say ish, mish, it will be mir. Do, dish, dear. Er, ihin, ihim. Make sure, friends, IHN, IHM, ihim. Yeah. And for S also, it comes to be ihim. ZZ here. Just a minute. Yeah, wir comes to be uns. This is just the same. Yeah, this is again euch. Then zizi ihnen, zizi ihnen. Okay, so again, I request you guys, please take screenshot here. This is going to be very useful throughout your journey. So now what I want to focus upon is, if I say, I own the pencil. Okay, so one way I can say, ich besitze. Like last time we used the word besitz for Auto. Ich besitze den Auto. So I can here also say ich besitze den Bleistift, or whatever it may be. This you forget for now. However, the correct German conversion will be it should be der Stift. Bleistift and Stift are usually the same, it's pencil. Der Stift gehört mir. Now, please don't get confused with all that stuff. I want to focus only upon this. So you see, here mir is used. The pencil is owned by me. It is literally means the pencil is owned by me. Now you probably have already known this. I will not be writing in English the pencil is owned by I, right? So this is a wrong sentence. So invariably, unknowingly, we are using cases in English as well. Why I'm using me? If you ask somebody, or somebody asks you why I'm using me and not I, then probably you will start scratching your head. Why is it so? But this is because of the cases that we have not exclusively learned in English, but they are always there.
Yeah.
However, in German, the same thing applies. And here, as I said, der Stift gehört mir, right? So mir comes from this dative, right? Any doubts, friends? This is a little getting confusing, I think. No?
Yes. So here, how we can understand in the example, mere is again in terms of English translation, how we can understand. Okay, it is going to be an indirect object. Mere as an indirect.
Yes. See, first of all, as I told you in our previous classes also, the nominative, accusative, and dative rules you must understand first. So here, if you see, for dative, what I said, for whom or to whom. If any noun in the sentence gives answer to these two questions or any of these questions, for whom, like I told you, that Frank writes a letter to his mother, to
Mm-hmm.
whom is answered by his mother, right? So
Correct.
here again, if you ask yourself, to whom the pencil is owned by,
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay.
So thereby it becomes dative.
Mm.
So even if you look at our own native language, I think this is same, right? So I and me is different even in our native language. I think yeah, that's also we can give example to ourselves
Yes, yes,
to
you're right.
understand.
You're right. Yeah, Hindi in Hindi we say मैं and मुझे हो जाएगा.
Yeah, correct.
Right, मुझे.
Mera, mujhe. There are so many
Hello.
Rag, Raghu, we
Raghu,
lost you.
you lost connection. Yeah. I first thought that I lost the connection, but
different
I
way,
can't.
right? So,
Raghu, are you there? Okay, Raghu will be back after some time then. Okay, so not an issue. See, initially you will be a little confused, but there are certain more things that I'll be taking up in later classes which will help you out. If I say, I thank you, yeah. So, no, don't take an example of English because English you will be for everything. I mean, I thank you, you thank me, I thank you all. Everywhere it will be you only, but it's not like in German. So here you will be told, or somebody if wants to say I thank you, so they will be saying Ich danke dir. Okay. Now they won't say Ich danke dich. This is wrong. I'll show an example here. See, again, if you focus on this table, this is basically to. You can use to in front of everything. To me becomes mere is equal to me. Dear is to you, right? To him or to he. So just add this to in front of every pronoun here. So this is how it works. Uh, I thank you becomes ich danke dir. For example, if somebody wants to give you thank, he or she may be straight away saying danke dir. So as I told you earlier also, don't take dear as D-E-A-R, it is D-I-R. Yeah. Should I take a few more examples? I think so, yeah. Raghu came back or not?
yeah, I came back.
Oh, that's great. Okay. All right. So we will take a few more examples just to focus upon this dative story. Example. Der Mann hilft Der Frau. Right. Now again, it's a contrast here. We are using der in front of Frau, which should have been die Frau. But now, because Frau is getting helped,
Yeah.
right?
That means
So she is in
darkly
dative.
opposite.
Yeah. Because that is an indirect object. Yeah. So just make sure that if you get an answer to whom or for whom, which is in German known as wem. So if you get an answer to any of these questions, to whom or for whom, then that noun is most likely going to be in dative case. Now again, there is one more hint. Dative is most of the times related with humans. Okay, now how is that? Frank, for example, I write a letter in English, write a sentence in English. Frank writes a letter to his mother, right? So you see, in most of the cases, it will be so that there is one human being associated in the sentence. Most of the cases, you will find it like this, and thereby that human being is most likely going to be in dative case. Okay.
So
Further,
in this
yeah.
case, his mother would be replaced by der Mutter.
Yes, exactly. Der Mutter, right? Okay. A few more examples, one or two more examples. You help. Now, again, I were to say, you are helping the child. This is the sentence, and in German it will be Du hilfst dem Kind. Right. So now here I want to focus upon uh, why I have used dem, because just a minute. Yeah. Kind, the gender of kind is das Kind. Okay. That is the nominative gender. That is the original gender of a kind. Kind bedeutet, kind means child. So here, du hilfst dem Kind. Why? Because this thus is converted to dem, because this is in dative case. Now we will cross check it within our table. Where is that?
So Siddharth, here we are not using the sein verb
Um,
because of helping is being used.
See, here you cannot use that. You are talking about haben and bist and all that, na?
Correct,
Last time
correct.
we learned.
Yeah.
Mm, that is not possible here. How do I use it here?
No, no, I was just thinking like something is happening, changing the state, uh, and you can be used as an beast or maybe hapt.
Actually, you can use it like in a little tricky way. Uh, you have helped the child. Let's say you have helped. I mean, I'm trying to deliberately use have here. You
Mm-hmm.
have helped the child. So here it will become du hast oder du hat dem Kind geholfen. So this is a little complex sentence now.
Yeah. And the
Du
first
hast,
one is a present tense, and this one is like a
which
past.
has yeah, which has happened in the past, but you're
Yes.
talking about that right now.
Yeah.
Correct. So this is a little complex sentence. I mean, we will take it up later on. Right now, it is one-to-one, straightforward. Du hilfst
Okay.
dem Kind. Yeah. Now I wanted to focus upon why I have used dem here. So let me check where that table is. Yeah, here it is. So you see the kind is thus kind. So that means in nominative here is thus, right? And now that we are converting, no, this is neutral. Don't take it as nominative. Neutr. I'm writing here genders: masculine, feminine, neutral, and plural. So the skin in dative converts to dem, right? So here it will become demkind, right? So one thing you need to note is, firstly, if you were to write a perfect sentence in German, firstly you need to remember the noun of that, the gender of that noun. That is most important. Without gender, you cannot frame the right, because these all depends on the gender only, right? And apart from that, you need to learn this table as well, because only with this table you can recall that das will become dem, or d, that is the feminine, will become masculine in dative. So this all you can remember if and only if you remember this table, and if and only if you remember the gender, right? So now that we are learning a little complex German, it's looking a little complex only right now, but later on when you are used to it, it is very easy to learn. Yeah. So I was taking the example "Du hilfst dem Kind." Well, that is already over now. One more example I would like to say is, I think I took it earlier also. Der Stift gehört mir. So here you see der Stift, that is the pencil, gehört mir. Now mir is, you remember,
To
ich,
me.
mich, mir,
Yeah.
right? So here again, as I am referencing to this table, I request you guys, please remember this table forever. Try to recall it. I mean, try to read through this table at least 2 times a day for next 7 days, and then just make it sure. I mean, trust me, friends. If you are not feeling, if you are unable to sleep in the night, you try to remember this table. Just learn this and recall this table, and by the time you will reach up to this point, you will be deep asleep. I mean, this is what it worked many times for me. Yeah. So maybe you can consider making a small paper slip or some, post-it kind of thing, and just see to it every day, 2 or 3 times a day. All right. So I don't want to take up too much today. Let me just see. Let me just take a few simple examples. I don't want to take up a new, some new topic today. I'll take up some new, 2, 3 more examples just for practice. Let's say I say, das ist ein Stift. This is a very simple sentence, right? So for your practice only, friends, I want to ask you, what do you think? What can be here? Which case it is?
Accusative.
Das ist ein Stift. You see, here there is only one noun, right? And this is the subject. This is a pencil. This is a pen, right? This is the subject. I'll compare it with another sentence. Ich suche einen Stift. Right. See, just to tell you one thing, for any sentence, most important thing is subject.
Subject.
Yeah. And plus predicate. there cannot be a sentence which has no subject and an object, but an object. Suppose if you say object plus predicate, this cannot be a sentence. Only if I am talking of minimum requirement. So the minimum requirement is a subject and a predicate. So here you see, das ist ein Stift. So this is a subject only, right? This cannot be object because there is nothing else, isn't it? That is a pencil. So there is no other noun associated here. Only one noun is there, and that is a subject, and that has to be in nominative only.
Okay, so if only one subject or noun is there, that would be by default nominative.
Absolutely. There is no way out. Yeah, only one possibility is that it has to be nominative only. Now here you see there is a small difference. Ich suche. Suche means to search.
Search.
Yeah. Now I will take up why this is einen, not ein. So just take it. I search a pen. Right. Now here you see there are two nouns, or at least ich is pronoun, which is maybe a small brother of noun only, and here is the noun again, right? So here you see ish definitely, because this is the one who is doing the job, so it has to be in subject.
Nominative.
Exactly, this is nominative, and because this is the direct object, so it has to be in accusative.
Accusative, yeah.
Right? And suppose I take the third example. The same. Ich schreibe einen Brief. No, just a minute. It will be.
Or maybe I'm searching a pen in a room.
For my mother.
Okay.
Yeah. Now here there is a small twist, friends. I'll tell you. Let's say if I were to say this sentence, what I said just now, just a moment. Let me erase this. I am searching a pen for my kid, let's say. Right? Now, this is an English sentence. But if you convert it to German now, it will be something a little twisted. I'll tell you, it will be something like I am searching for my kid a pen. It will be like this. Now, this is a part of sentence forming, which we will take up later on. So here, if we convert it into German, ich suche für mein Kind einen Stift. So it will be something like this, right? Now here, what are the parts of this sentence? Ich definitely is going to be nominative only. Yeah. Now, für mein Kind. So remember, friends.
Yes,
for
human.
For whom or to whom? To whom. So it will be dative. D-A-T-I-V-E. And here it is accusative. Simple. So I hope, friends, this is a little confusing. But still, if you apply the logic correctly, you will get the right answer. Now, another Hinweis or another hint here is H-I-N-T. You see, here is a human involved, right? So, if you are getting confused between kind, K-I-N-D means kid, and stift means pen, so just search for whichever is human. Now, human here is kind, so most likely, I mean, I cannot be 100% sure, but 90% sure human will be in dative and the other thing will be in accusative. This is a perfect hint with which you can avoid making mistakes. Okay,
Okay.
so this was all. Do I have any other example? Just let me check my copy. Okay, I have a one or two more examples. Let's say the window is open. So it will be das Fenster ist geöffnet. Right. So once again, friends, I ask you guys, can you find out some cases inside this?
Your window is subject.
Window is nominative.
Yes, simple.
Yeah.
Nominative, because otherwise both are verbs only. So it is like subject, sub, subject plus predicate. So Fenster, definitely window is going to be subject only. There is no way, no confusion here. Let's take one more example. Du schreibst einer Brief. Right, that is you write a letter. Or in English, it will be more like you are writing a letter, which becomes you write a letter and transliterated to du schreibst einer Brief. So I ask you, friends, please make an attempt to find cases.
Brief is nominative.
Brief is nominative.
No, do is
No,
nominative.
sorry. Do is nominative.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Because,
brief is accusative.
do is the subject,
Yes.
and einer Brief here is directly that is the
direct object.
and it's going to be accusative.
Accusative. Yeah.
Exactly.
So brief means letter, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. Brief means letter. Yeah. And now,
BRIF, exactly English word, different meaning.
yeah, there are many such words. I mean, you will get confused sometimes. He gives the lady a letter. So here it becomes er gibt der Frau einen Brief.
Einen Brief. So er is nominative. Brief is accusative and
Frau
die
is
Frau is dative.
Exactly. Once again, here the same rule applies. There is a human being involved. I mean, if you are getting confused between two things. So find out the human being, it's dative. And to whom or for whom things is done is dative. So der Frau is the receiver and this is the object. So it's accusative, simple. Okay. So this was all. Just one thing struck me which I wanted to focus upon. I think Amia only raised this question some time back. Why I am writing schreibst? So just a revision, we took it up late in last lecture also. So, I mean, now we are done with accusative cases, nominative accusative cases. We are talking about verbs now. It's a wiederholen, that is revision. Wiederholen, revision.
For Fairway.
Pardon?
For Fairway.
Fairway?
Verbs, if I'm not wrong. Verb is Fairway.
Verben. No. See, this is again a tricky thing. If there is any lady called Veronica, Veronica. So you don't call her as Veronica. She is going
Mm-hmm.
to be Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
Or if there is some officer, any colleague called Victor, so you don't call
It's
them as
Victor.
Victor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure that this verb, and you have to then learn by heart only. They are not verbs, or the German counterpart is verben, but this is not verben. This is verben only.
Okay.
Yeah, there is no logic behind. I mean, you have to learn it by heart. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about is schreiben, for example, schreiben. So when we see this verb, this is the most original, that is the virgin form of the verb, which you normally find in dictionary also. Dictionary, by the way, means Wörter book. Now, please find the gender associated with it. I don't remember it at all. So, if you find in dictionary, you will find schreiben. But if you use it, there are certain, depending on the cases, depending on the pronouns, we will convert them. So, ich schreibe, du schreibst, er, sie, es
Yes.
schreibt.
Schreibert,
No, ich
Schreibert.
schreibt. Schre, schreibt. Wir schreiben, ihr schreibt,
Same, yeah.
sie schreiben.
Schreiben.
Okay, so we are just revising what we learned in our previous classes. So as I took this example just now, du schreibst einen Brief. So here we are not going to use du schreiben einer Brief. That will be wrong. Because once we are using do, that is you, so we have to use the conjugation
Verb
of that.
accordingly.
Yes, the modified version, which is known as conjugation.
Right. Yeah.
So likewise, previously also, I think I took a sentence. Frank schreibst a letter, or there was one more thing. You are helping something. What was that? Du hilfst dem Kind. I took up this sentence. Du hilfst dem Kind. So now why hilfst? Because
Do.
yeah, but how do we conjugate it?
So you need to, I mean, with the last this thing lesson, so you need to break the word. So you just need to remove the en. That is actually it is from the z, the plural form.
Hmm.
So if you remove, and probably if it is ish, you need to add e. If it is do, you need to add est. And
Yes,
if it is rz and s, you need to add just t.
T.
If it is
Spam
where
rule.
you should be at, I mean, that is a virgin form of this thing. So that is en. And ear, and I think it's similar to ear, s and z, that you need to add t, right?
Yes,
And probably for a plural form, I think we can use it the virgin form.
exactly. You're 100% right. Just as a hint here, whenever you see a verb, it's actually made up of two parts. One is stam, that is the stem,
All right,
and
right.
one
I
is the
forgot that
endo.
one to say.
Yeah.
Correct. Stam
And
and
do.
end. End. Yeah.
Now, in most of the cases, you will find the same rule is followed everywhere. So for helfen also, it will be ich helfe, du hilfst, RGS hilft, wir helfen, ihr hilft,
Halt.
yeah, hilft. which is the helfen. It will be hilfen or helfen. You please check out with Google. So what I mean to say that for every verb, the ending will change according to their uses, right? So make sure that you don't say du helfen dem Kind. This will be wrong. It should be du hilfst dem Kind. That is the appropriate conjugation of the verb should be used depending on the case of the sentence. That is do, singular and first person, right? So this was just a video a revision, but make sure that you don't make mistakes here. It's something like, I mean, no relation with English here, because English will be like I help, you help, we all help, they help. Help will be the same. But in German, it will be changing all the times. So, any questions, friends, in today's session?
Nine.
Even if you have any doubt, then tomorrow again we will have the same class. I mean, some new topics. You can post your doubts there tomorrow as well. Okay, so let's wind up today's session, friends.
Yeah. Thanks, Sid.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Sid.
Bye bye.